So I want to know, since this is a predictions episode,
Yes.
do you believe that next holiday season that Coca-Cola will create its third annual AI commercial, or do they opt out?
I believe they will opt out, and that has a lot to do with my prediction that will come later in this show. Yes.
Oh God, just leaving us hanging.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do. That's the whole
Always leave me
point.
hanging.
That's the whole point of a cold open, my friend, is to get you just teased enough. Just teased enough. And I'm realizing how that sounds even as I'm talking about it, just teased enough so that you actually follow through.
Well, here's my
with
prediction.
actually watching the show.
Here's my prediction. I predict that there won't be a podcast, This Old Marketing, next year. How about that?
Well, that's just mean. That's just mean.
That's just mean.
That's just mean.
That's just terrible. And that's how we're going to start out this
There
very
we go.
positive predictions
Nice.
episode.
And now, for your listening pleasure, here's Polizzi and Rose, covering the week of media, marketing, and digital content news. Take it away, boys.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome to This Old Marketing, proudly brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network. Yes, another year of this, right? The audio destination for business professionals. And I'm Robert Rose. And with me, as usual, is my pal, my colleague, and the joke I make every single year for this particular episode, the only guy who really looks like Baby New Year, Mr. Joe Polizzi.
Didn't you
I make that
Baby
joke
New
every
Year?
single year.
You made a Baby New Year picture one year with a beard, didn't you?
I
thought you
did.
that.
I did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
I did. Baby.
Well,
or our friend JK made the picture.
That's probably
because I'm not as good as Photoshop as he is, and now you can have AI do that. So, yeah.
Do you know this is our 13th year? We're going into our 13th year.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Podcast production.
Yeah,
it could be the definition of insanity. It's just
keep doing the same thing over and over again.
It says, "See this old marketing podcast." Yeah. This is dumb. I love this. I love this episode because generally I'm so wrong.
Oh, we're both so wrong.
But we did okay from last year. I mean, I don't know.
We did okay. We did okay. It was funny because what I noticed in doing the research, as one does for this show, going back into the Indiana Jones warehouse of our old episodes and pulling out the predictions from last year, what the trend last year was, the first part of our prediction was like spot on, and then we ruin it, right? By adding some context to it. Like we add to it. It's like we should just stop, like just make the prediction and then stop, because anytime we added context or some sort of thing about the way it will happen, we went off the rails completely.
It's just like my parlay betting. When I bet, whenever I bet, whenever I'm at the casino on it, because I don't use the sports apps, but whenever I'm at the casino, I'll try a parlay. And my wife always says, like, my first bet always wins.
Yeah.
And the second one, sometimes it wins. And then the problem is I keep adding on, and then they get progressively worse.
Do you do that pattern? I think it's a blackjack thing, that pattern where you win, you double. If you win again, you double. And then if you win again, you take money off. I can't remember what it is.
No, I don't do that. I add, so let's say I'm playing, let's say I'm at a $10 table.
Yeah.
So I got 2 nickels down there. And then if I win, I'll add one. And then if I win again, I'll add one. And I'll keep going and adding $5, not doubling.
Right.
So that if I get on a real streak, I could see 50 or 60 bucks in front of me. But, those are all winning. I do not do the doubles. I get a little hesitant to do that. Okay. I don't trust myself.
Yeah. Well, you're a big spender at $5 a bet.
It's crazy.
You can't even go to Vegas and find a $5 table.
You can.
They don't exist.
You can. You know what's amazing though?
Let me put it this way. You can't go into any reputable bar and find a $5 table.
That's true. You can go into a few of them and find a $1 table.
Yeah. You might not,
but you
survive.
Don't know. You don't know what's walking around you. It gets a little concerning. By the way, I have to say this. One of my favorite casinos over the past 10 years has been the El Cortez. And the El Cortez it's just off of Fremont Street downtown.
Okay.
And it's never been a nice, but it's the kind of casino you could go in and you could play $5 blackjack, no problem. That's what they got.
Yeah.
But it all kind of smelled in there and stuff like that. So it's like your old time, but you could play, reasonable dollars.
Right.
So I don't know what happened, but we went in there the last time. So this is 6 weeks ago. We were in there. It is completely changed. It went completely upscale.
Oh, well, that's been a trend. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I was in a different place. They've got a huge bar. Like everything's like marble everywhere. The drinks went from $1 to $10. I'm like, oh, and by the way, I walked in. I was clearly the oldest person in there.
Yeah. That whole downtown area has been sort of millennial or Gen Z or whatever to sort of gentrify it, if you will, or genzerify it, if you will, to try and take it a little younger. Yeah.
The younger folk just keep ruining it for everyone.
Well, there's that.
What's going on? Speaking of that.
Yeah.
So I thought, you usually, you take the show. Your responsibility is you put the show notes together. You do a great job and all that stuff. And I haphazardly produce. But today, I thought that it would be good to go back for our when we did our predictions a year ago. And I asked my ChatGPT to grade each of the ones.
Yeah.
Would you like to know how you did?
I would love to know how ChatGPT thinks I did. Yeah. I would love to know. Yeah.
So we're going to go through this. We did a lot of predictions last year.
It was a lot. There was, you had a lot. As this show, you have a lot and I've had few, but yeah.
Well, I always add in a couple because again, I like to keep adding on and they get progressively worse as we go.
Right.
Okay.
And I figure if the fewer of mine are,
so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through mine, yours, mine, and then I'm going to give you the rating and the 2 seconds or the 2 sentences that the ChatGPT gives to you. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one was mine. I said BlueSky stalls, X gains momentum and revenue. I'm sort of cutting these short. And then ChatGPT gave me an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
BlueSky absolutely remained niche. Strong engagement among journalists and academics, but no mass market breakout. X stabilized better than many expected and monetization improved. Even if momentum depends on your definition, directionally right.
No,
directionally right.
Oh my God, this is ChatGPT basically going, "You're so smart, Joe. You're such a smart. That's crack on. That's exactly."
Well, I'm not going to add this here, but my AI said that my predictions were a heck of a lot better than your predictions. I'm just saying. Okay, here's your first one.
Yeah.
You basically said the TikTok won't be banned and it becomes bigger and stronger. ChatGPT gave you a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, that one for sure.
Nailed it.
That one I nailed for sure. Yeah.
It says nailed it. Regulatory pressure increased, but TikTok found workarounds and continued growth and influence.
By the way, we still don't know what's going on there. I mean,
no, we still don't.
I still haven't seen anything definitive that says now the Ellisons own it or they don't or somebody owns it or doesn't. I mean, I don't think anything material has actually happened.
But they're finding a way to survive.
Yeah.
So you are right.
Doing very well. Yeah.
So AI gives you 9 out of 10 for that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Here's my second one.
Yeah.
I said there's be a disease named for phone and social addiction, and it sparks a social movement. And I got a 6 out of 10 on that, even though I'm completely wrong.
Yeah. I don't even know what that. When I was listening to that and doing the show notes, it was like, I don't even know what that means, but I was.
There'd be a condition because
I get it.
Phone addiction is such a thing today.
Yeah.
But AI says close but not fully realized.
Yes.
Increased clinical framing, more research, more headlines, but no singular disease named after that stuck culturally.
Yeah, you would have thought RFK would have invented something by now, but yes.
Well, if the minor movement that goes nowhere was accurate, so I get a 6 out of 10.
Okay,
it's like a C+.
Yeah,
maybe
it's better than a C+, but yeah.
Here's yours.
Yeah,
you said 4 out of the top 5 companies.
This is
exceed 4 trillion market cap. Actually, I thought you did fairly well.
I did.
You got a 5.
Yeah.
Old, but too early, it says.
Yeah, it's still there's still only two. Nvidia and Apple are the only two.
Two hit the mark. The others flirted but didn't cross. The trend was
Well,
right.
a few
Again,
of them
you were
went down.
directionally right.
Yeah, a few of them went actually down.
Who?
Microsoft went down.
From
Google went a
last
little
year?
bit down.
No way.
Yeah,
No way. They're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
up from last year. They're all significantly up from last year. They just didn't get to 4 trillion.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to believe me?
I'm not sure. I thought I did the research on this, but you could be right. You could be right.
I know things.
Yeah.
Basically.
I know things. I know things.
I know things. Here's mine.
Yeah.
Bitcoin over 200,000.
Wah, wah, wah.
I got a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, it should be noted that Bitcoin hit 126,000.
Yeah.
So it was still significant, and then it's come back down.
Yeah.
To
say the least, yes.
Here's what AI says. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, right.
Massive gains, institutional adoption, ETFs mattered, but 200,000 was too aggressive for the time frame. You get points only because everyone secretly wanted to believe it.
Yeah. There you go.
I got another.
You got a participation trophy. Yeah, you got a FIFA Peace Prize for that. Is what you got.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna predict again later in the show on Bitcoin.
Okay.
And I've got it right this time.
Okay.
I promise you.
Yep.
Yours was.
Yeah, this one was a big one.
Sora image tools weren't impressive at the time. Is that?
Oh, did I? No. I was. That was no. That's basically me. That's a funny thing I wanted to point out was, given how much I got into AI creation tools, I had just started testing Sora because the image thing was just out at that point. And it was not impressive. That was the time of six-fingered people and weird heads and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yours was Gen AI stumbles big due to a major event.
Some big event, right? Yeah.
And then you got a 6.5 out of 10. Very precise.
That's wrong. That's more like a 3 or a 4 out of 10.
You see, I grade optimists.
Yeah. Well, ChatGPT grades optimistically too.
Okay. It says not one single AI Chernobyl, but enough legal battles, hallucination scandals, enterprise pullbacks, and trust issues to count as a stumble. The ripple happened, just slower and messier, Robert.
Okay.
That's all it says. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just a few more. We're almost done.
Yeah.
I said there'd be a major negative event around online sports gambling.
Yeah.
It only gave me a 7 out of 10. I think with the baseball thing, if you're a sports guy, that was a huge thing.
That's a great point.
With Clase and Ortiz,
thought of that, but that's a great point. Yeah.
Clase and Ortiz being banned for life, and MLB is actually banning. They're working with DraftKings and whatnot to undo those ball strike prop bets that you can't make anymore because it's just so. But
that's a great one. Yeah.
But I only got a 7 out of 10 from AI here.
I think because it wasn't a news. I think you had forgive the pun here, but it's an inside baseball sort of thing. It's like if you know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So the ripples to use the ChatGPT vernacular. The ripples were small inside the industry, Joe.
It's going to be that kind of show.
Yeah,
it's going to be that kind of show. Yours.
Yeah, this is the one I just completely whiffed on. Yeah.
Mr. Trump would not be president by year's end.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Clean miss. No wiggle room here.
There is no wiggle. No, it was a bold prediction at the time. And
it's a bold prediction, Cotton.
Yeah. 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 It did not work out well for me.
Usually you got to pay double for that kind of action.
Yeah.
So last two.
Yeah.
Are these both mine? Oh, I had way more than you.
Yeah. You had more than me.
But my final two were pretty good.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't understand the podcast one, but yeah, go ahead.
I basically said that. So my prediction was that half of all podcasts stop producing, which you can't quantify that.
Right. So it's a safe prediction. Right.
So I'm right.
Yeah.
I got an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Very strong. Quiet pod fading. They call it pod fading. I didn't know that was a word.
All right.
Pod fading accelerated, especially among hobbyist and branded shows.
Yeah.
Production didn't end loudly, but attrition was massive. Conceptually dead on.
Okay.
I really like my AI.
Yeah, yeah. Your AI is very friendly.
I always come away feeling good about myself.
Yeah, it's a good life coach for sure.
And then last one. 5 major brands lean hard into nostalgia.
This was my favorite prediction. Yeah, this was definitely.
And I got a 9 out of 10.
100%. Yes, you did on that. Yeah,
nostalgia was everywhere, especially as a hedge against AI sameness and cultural fatigue. This became a real playbook, not a gimmick.
Yep.
We've talked about the nostalgia examples all year long too.
Yeah, all year long we brought that up. It was my favorite prediction that you made at the time, and I was so, and on this show I've called it out many times. It's you were right on the money on this one.
So overall, I would give us a 6.5. I think we did fairly well. I think it was one of our better years, to be honest.
Yeah, again, I think the initial prediction, aside from my sort of like binary one about Trump,
that's a tough one. There's really no wiggle room. You can't.
No, you can't.
You have to do something like there will be less podcast producing content that nobody
right.
It's give you a stat.
It's a spectrum, right? It's a spectrum. Yeah, not a binary, right? Yeah, I get it. I whiffed on that one, but I give myself the TikTok one for sure is 100%. So.
You were great on that. You were great. Because a lot of people were thinking it was going to be banned, including me for a while.
What's that great? There's a great statistics quote from, he's a baseball player, where he talks about
Yogi Berra,
the uselessness of statistics, which is like, if you've got 1 foot in a fire and 1 foot in the icebox, statistically you should feel fine.
Geez, that's a good one. Yeah. Statistics and lies.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, good. Okay, so that was my portion. I'll check out now, and then you can.
All right. Well, let's. I mean, let's start. You have a bunch. I have 3.
Wait. So here's my question for you. I have some just general cultural ones that I want to put out there. You want me to do those first?
I might add to it if I think of something in real time. But I'd say go for it. Those sort of short ones.
So I have 3.5 marketing related predictions that I'm going to hold off on. We're going to do those separately. We can maybe do them one at a time like we normally do.
Yeah, sure.
I'm wearing, for those of you watching on the YouTubes, I'm wearing my Browns gear.
Yeah.
Because one of my predictions is about the Cleveland Browns. The Browns hire a new general manager. They hire a new coach. They finish 9-8 next year, and they make the playoffs.
Okay. There you go.
What's not to like?
I love how you sit back on that.
What's not to like about that?
Fucking mic drop.
Led by Shadur Sanders.
There you go.
I was going to go so far as to saying that they would hire Deion Sanders, but I don't think that's going to happen. Although I would love it. I would love Deion coaching his son. I mean,
yeah,
kind of cute. It'd be kind of cute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No?
All right. I'll offer a similar one for the Cowboys, which is they hire a new defensive coordinator.
Okay.
And keep the team largely intact. So they actually do what they never do, which is to keep the team intact, and they let all their free agents go. They keep the team intact. And next year they go, let's call it, they go 11-6 and win the division.
You know what? It's definitely plausible because they have so many tools and weapons on offense.
Yeah.
And they have the best kicker in the league, bar none.
Yep. If they can fix the defense,
and they have a very young defense. So if you think that they just improve a little bit, they
have 2 first-round draft picks coming up. So
if they just go to like 20th in defense, they can finish 11-6.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
My concern with the Browns is the defense is aging a little bit. Myles Garrett is going to get Defensive Player of the Year, bar none. He's going to get the overall sack record.
He's so good.
Amazing. I'm so happy for him. He's a good person too.
Yeah.
So that's my Browns one.
Okay.
I'm going to do here's my Bitcoin.
Okay.
Bitcoin does surpass 200,000 this year.
Oh,
and I'm going to tell you why. It's not just a pipe dream. So if you've been following it, Bitcoin is now integrated with the entire financial institution that is the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ and everything. Every major financial outfit is now selling products that are Bitcoin related. Here's the difference. The bigger ones, the biggest ones, for example, Bank of America, they approved selling Bitcoin related products, but not until January 1st. So you can have, they basically can sell up to 4% of any of their clients' portfolio as a Bitcoin related product, but they can't do it until the next year. I think that is being understated, and how big a move that is by how many people, because 67% of households have no Bitcoin exposure at all. It's so early. It's so early.
Sure.
So I think because when you add in a new product to sell for these Wall Street guys and gals, they sell them. That's what they do. They're great salespeople. You say, hey, sell this. They will go out and sell it. Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, whatever. You start of the year, this thing is going to get ramped up very, very quickly. So I think the 200,000, you don't even have to wait till the end of the year. I think it happens sooner than people think. That's my justification.
That's not a bad justification, I got to say. It's sort of a almost dead cat bounce, right? You're going to get. So, but we'll see if it lasts. I think what could be made up in short term might be outweighed in the long term. But I hear you. I hear what you're saying there. I like it. I like it.
I think there's all sorts of things that we've never seen money printing like this in our lifetime. We've seen some silly. But it is just. Yeah. We now realize that we can't shut it off. We can't. Like, the only way we can get out of this whole mess is just to keep printing more.
I just want to know what we're going to do with the $8 trillion in tariffs that we suddenly have somewhere, somehow, some way, in some bank account somewhere.
Yeah, we're going to give $2,000 checks out, and we're going to go truly socialist. Is really what we're going to start doing.
There we go.
But I'm not taking a political stance.
No. God forbid we do that. Yes,
that this is a thing. Okay. So do you have a Bitcoin prediction? Do you want?
I have no Bitcoin prediction. Yes, I'm going to stay on the sidelines on that one. I like your thinking. I think the risk is in the long term, not the short term.
All right. That's I have sort of a political one, but I don't want to say it. I don't think I should go there. Okay, I'll go there.
You'll go there.
I really do think.
What are we going to do?
Not political at all. This is just what I'm looking at. I only look at the facts of things. I do think the Democrats take the House and the Senate.
Oh, I think that's a pretty safe prediction. Yeah.
No, I think it's not. You can't say it's anything.
Okay, hold on. If we have elections, I think it's it. I think it's a pretty safe bet. Yeah. The question is if.
I don't believe in. You know what?
The brown shirts. The brown shirts may have something else to say about that. But yeah, if the brown shirts don't have anything to say about
what does Polymarket say? Whatever Polymarket says.
Yeah.
Then the prediction markets. Then that's probably true. That's probably what's going to happen. I don't know what they say. I will have to. We'll have to see whatever the odds are.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's those are my little predictions.
I like them all. All right. Shall I start with the first marketing one?
I would love to hear your marketing one.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
I would.
Okay. Here's my first one.
Okay.
And I'm putting this in quotes, AI strategy, right? Having an AI strategy quietly becomes the new digital transformation. And what I'm saying is that by this time next year, most companies will still say they're doing AI if they're asked, but the whole phrase about having a AI first or AI led or whatever the current, sort of du jour term is already going to feel a little like digital transformation felt like, a couple of years ago.
You're saying it's going to be stale.
It's going to be totally stale, and it'll be a little bit like wearing like a Bluetooth headset in 2008, right? I mean, it's going to be like it's not going to be the thing. So, I'm not saying AI is going away. I'm just saying that there's going to be no pride, no it will quietly just sort of stop being a thing. This AI, this urgency to get an AI strategy, it's just going to stop.
Do you feel that that's because companies and enterprises don't have enough change to report, or it's just because it was caught in the bubble and AI was in everything for such a long time? And
I don't think it's a thing. Is why I think it's going to.
There's no there.
Yeah, there's no there. Right. It's like it's saying what is your AI strategy is like saying what is your electricity strategy.
It's just part of everything now.
It's just it is. It's a thing that is, and you work with it or you don't, and it becomes part of whatever it is you're trying to do. Like, I have a marketing strategy. Does AI a part of it? Of course it is. Of course it will be, right? But there's no such thing as an AI strategy, and all of these CEOs that are sort of leaning into their pressure from their boards and investors and saying you've got to get an AI strategy. That's going to go. That's what I'm saying is going away, because there never was a there.
It's almost like the way I see it going with movies, and you know more about this than I do, but people will say, oh, we're using AI for this and we're not using it for this. I think that in the very near future, every movie and every television show uses AI. You just don't think about it. You're just using it. It's just part of production.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
That's what you're saying.
That's exactly right. It's and it becomes part of how people write. It becomes for how people create imagery. It becomes part of how everything is done. But when you misuse the tool, as Coca-Cola has found out, as McDonald's has recently found out, as all these brands have found out, when you sort of lean into the tool rather than the human using the tool, then and you sort of call attention to it, that's when people have the skeeved out reaction to it. It's not the people, Justice for M dash is a great example of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with the M dash. There's nothing wrong with using the M dash, AP style, the whole thing. The M dash is fine, but because it became synonymous with an AI first creation strategy, it got beleaguered. And I think what's going to happen is that the general zeitgeist, the general feeling, the conventional wisdom is going to be like, finally realize that there is no such thing as an AI strategy, and that basically its strategy is strategy around the thing. And then it just fades into the, it's like having an internet strategy. There's no such thing as having an internet strategy either. It's like the internet is.
There was. Yeah, it was just like they had a digital CMO.
Remember back in the day when
you had a CMO and then a digital CMO. It's like and now in hindsight, it's like the dumbest thing ever, but
you had to have in 2003, 2002, you had to have the boards were all pressuring you for what is your internet strategy? It's like, that's just a ridiculous question. It's like, at its face, it's a ridiculous question.
Yeah, you just say it's DUM.
Right. Right.
It's a B, man. There's a B.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that
I'm trying to learn from my mistakes, given the spectrum.
I think that it's a little vague and hard to measure.
It's not that hard to
measure.
We'll see. I mean,
kind of like mine coming up here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So there's two parts to one prediction. My first part is that, and I've been saying this for a while, but I really believe this. Email becomes the most important part of the creator's basket of goods, if you will.
Mm.
And when I say creators, I mean content marketers too. I'm not just saying. And the reason why is I think it becomes the proof of humanity. Because where the algorithm is taking over everything, there'll be, and by the way, even with email newsletters, you don't know who opens those things. I mean, you have bots that are signing up for things. You have to do it, but there's going to be a measure that happens. So I believe that email newsletters become so critical, and I believe that the industry standard, there'll be the new measurement, and maybe if there's a word for this already, because I couldn't find it. So, but I'm gonna lean on you for this. There's a new KPI standard that's used in email called reply rate. And so once we understand that, oh my God, we want to reach human beings, trust is so important. We can't do this. We can't reach human beings. We don't know who's engaging in our videos and TikToks and whatever, the metric that matters is somebody that is willing to reply to your email.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. You know who talks a lot about that is Ann Handley.
Ann does. I didn't know if like it was a standard metric.
I mean, it's a standard metric in the sense that it's now a standard. I mean, I think, you know, it is a metric.
There are marketers that actually they're actually measuring reply rate.
My clients are. I'm telling them that's
what do they
how
call
they should,
it?
You know, a reply rate. Yeah. How many replies are you getting versus how many you're sending? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, for sure.
Out of
I'm teaching my clients that I'm telling them how useless open rates are. Open rates are stupid. That's not a good, that's not a good metric. Actual click-throughs are disappearing. You want to put the value in the actual newsletter. You want to put the value in the actual email. And so what I'm teaching my clients, and again, I'm not claiming authorship of this. I learned it from Ann and honestly, Michael Barber, who also talks a little bit about reply rate in his work.
Chanel Basilio does as well from.
And so I base it on, just how many people actually reply. That's how I grade my newsletters, like how many replies I get. If I get 10 replies to my newsletter that I send out once every couple of weeks, then I feel like I'm doing great, right? Because that's a nice and if I get 2, then I know that it didn't resonate.
So here's what I would like. I'm asking the audience for help here. Go to our YouTube page for this video. And I would like anyone that is actually measuring this thing or thinks that their clients are measuring it or whatever, please give us some feedback on this. I would like to know if this is a thing, because I think we're in our own little bubble. Be a thing, I don't think big enterprises are doing this at all.
No. I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I think maybe a couple small businesses and this gets to my the point is that I think that it becomes a metric that people are going to start to do outside of our few examples.
I love the prediction. I think you're right on the prediction, and I don't disagree that we are in a bubble, right? I think that yes, we are. We
over-index on email.
Well, I'm just going to say we certainly that may be true as well, but I think without sounding bragging, we tend to be a little bit on the leading edge of this kind of stuff, right? I mean, we've been doing it for a long time, so we sort of can spot some of these things. So, and it gets to the segues to my prediction, which we can talk about here in a second. But I think it's something that we can clearly say that, it's still new. It's still very, very new. And most enterprises are still grading themselves on web traffic, for crying out loud. I mean, the speed of adoption is slow. So I think it's a great prediction, and I 100% agree with it.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Yeah.
Doesn't usually happen.
Yeah. Well, here, let me get to mine.
Okay.
Because it segues beautifully into my second one, which is the attention economy. What we call the attention economy collapses. And basically marketers finally realize that and stop pretending that they're trying to speak to, quote unquote, broad audiences. And instead the focus becomes much more around conversations and, hosting conversations, basically. In other words, marketing starts to look a lot more like a dinner party than it does, and being part of communities than it does the sort of classic reach and frequency, broad speaking to broad audiences. The idea of gluing communities together with brand content, with content marketing, et cetera. And that gets to your prediction around the replies, which is inherently a conversation at that point. And building relationships becomes the new metric rather than audience reach and or leads and visits and those sorts of things.
Do you think that this is something that you really want to happen, or you really believe it will happen?
I'm torn on it because, I think it's the oxygen we have in the room right now with where AI search is happening, the disappearance, zero-click marketing, the sort of idea that the internet, Gemini is now going to build dynamic websites based on search queries. So the idea of how-to content, informational content that we would be getting out there to sort of create discovery and awareness is largely going to happen external to our owned media properties. And so it's like, okay, well then what is the role of the website, the email newsletter, our thought leadership program, our, functional web? And to me, it moves into, how do I create gatherings? How do I create relationships, places and experiences that enable better relationships, whether that's physical, digital, or interactive content? Then, so be it. I think that mix is what's important now, but it stops being about how many eyeballs I can reach, how much attention I can grab, how much provocative content, here are the top 10 reasons marketing is going to rock, and number 6 will shock you. That stuff just goes away.
It's interesting. This is not I had this as a possible prediction, but I didn't think it was worthy enough. But it leads into what you're saying, is I thought that a lot of companies out there would get into the handwritten notes and start writing their clients.
Yes, I think that's going to happen too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you're right. In-person experience, small in-person experiences, handwritten notes, bringing
valuable friction
together. Yeah. Somebody should write a book on that.
Yeah, there we go.
Great book. For those of you who haven't read Valuable Friction by Robert Rose yet, you should go out and do so.
You're very.
It's a nice, especially with what's going on. I think you could see it. You could see where we're going with this, where you're going with it. So it's starting to happen.
Yeah,
love it. Okay, here's mine. It's almost like we planned this, Robert. I believe, and
we didn't. By the way, we didn't. For those of you who are wondering,
we don't even know.
Yeah, we don't even know what we're going to say.
Don't even know. I wanted to put a number to this because I like to measure them. So I'm going to put the number 3 with this. Okay. 3 hugely successful creators, influencers will walk away from their biggest audiences, and it will be public. Like, we will see this happen. And what I believe happens is these are creators that have won. Like they've won. They have money, they have fame, and they believe that the ongoing production of content to that particular audience doesn't serve them with meaning or purpose anymore, and they will walk away from that. Now, people will look at that and might say it's burnout. I will say they're just trying to make sense of their lives and trying to really find meaning and do good in the world. And that's the reason why they're going to leave.
That's like your nostalgia one. Yeah, that's a really interesting one.
So that's so I think you'll see it. It's not going to.
Do you see that as part of a larger, just the maturation of the creator economy? Is that really it's just that it's matured to a point where now we're going to start seeing people retire from it?
I think there's going to be a lot of people that get to a level and say, I've done it.
Right.
Like, I accomplished this, and what's my next thing?
Right.
Almost kind of like,
what's my chapter 3 or whatever?
Yeah. What's my chapter? Yeah. So like Al Gore does politics, and then he gets into the environment. Right. Like that kind, you're going to see that kind of a pivot where they may actually go and create content again, but they're serving almost back to what you're saying, a very small audience that they really care about, that they think they can do some good, that they don't care about making money at all. And you're gonna start seeing that happen.
I think that's such an interesting prediction, mainly because what you're actually saying is that we are now at a point in 2026 where the influencer or creator economy is at an age where people will now start, in other words, we had all these people who came up through it, and now we're going to start seeing people actually exiting out of it. And I think that's so interesting. Yeah, that's such an interesting observation.
I mean, like, it's interesting to see, like, where does Mr.
Beast go?
Mr. Beast is different because Mr. Beast's Jimmy Donaldson's philanthropic efforts and goals are huge, and he uses the Mr. Beast brand to fund all that. So he has a purpose for doing that. But if you're Stephen Bartlett, who's the second most popular podcast, and he's got all these angel investments, he's doing all these things now, I'm sure he probably struggles at 33 years old. Like, okay, I'm at the top of the mountain.
Sure.
Like, there's not a lot, in my opinion, Howard Sterns out there that just keep doing it day in and day out.
Right.
Because they want to talk to interesting people.
That's
I just think that it's, by the way, I don't know if you heard, Howard Stern, new 3-year deal.
Signed up. Yeah. He's going to continue on. He likes money. He likes money.
He likes money. All right. Yours.
Yeah, I have a fun one. It's sort of political, but not really political. It's way more marketing, and it's again in the sort of very interesting segue. And great minds think alike. I'm calling it the rise of the Mamdani effect. So my prediction is that the Mamdani effect spreads to the midterm elections, and what we're going to see is at least a handful, if not most, of the candidates really taking the Mamdani content marketing, social media, very much Gen Z and millennial focused content, on the street interviews, viral videos, social media content focused, all of that become the primary way that these candidates are marketing themselves, and very much the way Mamdani did to win the mayorship of New York. So that's going to be the big, they call it the content creator effect, if you like, but I'm calling it the Mamdani effect because he ran such an effective campaign using these tactics: content marketing, social media content, viral content, real live content, unpolished content that is going to replace the sort of standard political advertising, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that's a great way to look at it. He was so outspent by Cuomo. It's not even funny. He was outspent by hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
And cleaned house with what people would call like viral, but he was just out on the street. You're right. Yeah. He was in the water. He was
doing what you're talking about with this relationships, this idea of conversations, et cetera, et cetera. He was in creating physical and digital events that people could relate to. Is creating relationships.
It's funny. He just did the whole personal branding thing that we've been talking about and having marketers do. He just did it to win an election.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He sold a product that was himself and created a personal brand to do it, and just did it brilliantly.
I liked it. That's really good. That's good. Do you have like you want to specify that? You just like, or no more? Like,
let's say
grade that enough for that.
Let's say 80% of the candidates.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot of hot stuff.
I think it's going to be the popular playbook.
All right. I like it. I have 2 more. You know what one of them's going to be already because I posted it.
so ridiculous.
But
yes, go ahead. Let's finish with that one. You should do your other one first.
And you can mock me.
Yeah.
My other one is very short.
Unmercifully, yes.
So here's mine.
Yes.
Elon Musk's. Okay. By the end of next year,
14 more children, four more children at least.
Elon Musk's net worth goes over $2 trillion.
Oh God, no.
Now he's at like 400 billion right now.
Yeah.
So this is. But
you have a lot of faith in the stock market next year. Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in people buying into SpaceX. So SpaceX is going to go public next year. If you believe what everybody says, it looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it will go out at probably a $1.5 trillion company.
Really?
It'll be the first $1 trillion IPO.
I don't think so.
Well,
but okay, I'm with you.
That's what I'm thinking it's going to be.
I hear you.
And
I think they're too slow growth to go out that big.
So did you listen to
Galloway?
Paul Racer and Mike Kaput's podcast recently? They talked about this. So I want to shout out to the Artificial Intelligence podcast.
Yeah.
They talked about it. I was not aware. Like I always thought of SpaceX, but shooting a payload and whatever. And we went over to Mars someday and all this kind of stuff. I didn't see the data center model there. They are going to launch into space so many data centers. I didn't realize this was a thing. Like the new data center play is SpaceX. And it's from a solar standpoint because they're going to launch them out. So all that debris out there is going to be data centers. And by the way, and when they do go to Mars, to all the stuff that's going on with AI and the power that we need, how are they going to do that? What that's going to be from the robotics that probably comes from Tesla.
I don't disagree with any of that. I just don't think that's next year.
I don't think it's going to happen next year, but I think that you're going to see the valuations go to that point.
I can't. Yeah.
He's going to, because you're going to see Grok, who's going to be the brain behind it. You're going to see Tesla, by the way, just hit an all-time high. By the way, I'm not an Elon Musk fan. I'm just telling you.
Sure, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Elon, right now, I believe Tesla's probably going to, I think they'll at least double next year, maybe more.
Yeah.
And then you've got what's going to happen with SpaceX. And I think that you're going to see some incredible stuff happen with the richest man in the world. Is going to become even richer.
Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. I'm not sure it gets to 2 trillion, but it's.
I wanted to make it so outlandish.
Yeah, that you can be
and it
really.
Is, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, okay.
It makes my 200,000 Bitcoin prediction seem small.
It does. That
really
does. That does indeed.
So that's that.
Okay.
Do you have another prediction?
I don't actually. I mean, I can make one up.
That's what I do. I say I got 3 predictions, and then I go ahead and threw 7 at you.
Yeah, I think. I think if I were to pick winners and losers for night, here's my prediction for winners and losers among the big 5 or whatever they are, the FANG or whatever it is. I think NVIDIA continues to be a big winner. I think Google continues to be the biggest winner next year. I think OpenAI, I know they're not part of the market yet, but OpenAI is in for a world of hurt. And I think Microsoft is in for a world of hurt. And I think, who am I missing out of that? Did I say Meta? Meta is in for a world of hurt. I think those companies are in for a world of hurt. I think Apple stays relatively flat.
I was wrong about Alphabet. I really thought that the whole thing that happening in search and the business model, I thought that they were going to.
I didn't want to call that out, but in our prediction show, we actually had this discussion, and I said, no, Google's going to be fine, and
you know what? They're more than fine.
They're more than fine, and they're going to be more than fine. Gemini is a great product.
I don't know if you follow Nate B. He does AI reviews all the time. I've been following him. He's really interesting guy. He did the straight up review of Nano Banana and ChatGPT 5.2 and said that Google blows them out of the water.
Totally.
And it's not even, he said it wasn't even close. And I'm like,
from an imaging standpoint and a video standpoint, Gemini with Nano Banana is hands down, not even close, hands down the best video and image creation AI out there. It's just
crazy.
Hands down. I don't use enough of Gemini from a strategy, pressure testing, research sort of. I've sort of invested in OpenAI, and 5.2 is good. I'm not going to lie. 5.2 I like very much. Is much better than they did. I think they took some of the governors off of 5.1 because what 5.1 was really an efficiency creator. So it really got dumber, I should say. 5.2 is better. I think they basically went, okay, we can't afford to not be, to try and go efficiency with this. We need to still win the performance race.
So would you like my last?
Yes, I know. Yeah, okay, bring it. Yeah, bring it on. Let's do it.
So I believe I first started this prediction in 2013.
You did, right at the start of the podcast. We were talking about this.
And the prediction was that Apple would buy Disney. And what's interesting, Robert, is that Kara Swisher and Scott Galloway and some others have been mentioning that this is a possibility. And I'm not going to go so far as to say that Apple will buy the whole of Disney. What I want to say, and I'm going to be more specific about it, I'm going to say that because of what we're seeing in the consolidation in the streaming wars and what Netflix is going on and the Warner Brothers thing and whatever, you're going to start seeing some major players and some of these things are going to consolidate. And I think that Apple and Disney are going to have to consolidate, or they're going to want to consolidate so they have a premium streaming product. And so you're going to see Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus come together in a partnership between each other.
Okay. All right. Well, that's different. That's different.
And I would like to say I still do believe that Apple should just buy Disney outright. I believe there's but I don't think that Apple wants the headache of the experiential product,
No, of course they don't. Yeah.
even though it would benefit them.
No,
because it's a premier experiential product and it's a luxury product.
It is. It's certainly the most valuable part of the company. That there's no.
It is in line with the Apple brand to do such. It is aligned with an Apple store, but they won't do that. But at minimum, so I'm going to take I want this to come true. I don't want to have a 0 out of 10. I'm going to have this come true. There is at least a partnership between those two streaming outfits. And in next year, you will see that Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus will come together.
So here's the thing that's working against you in that, which is Disney's new deal with OpenAI, right?
Some people have pointed this out.
Yes.
But I say nay. Nay, I say.
Yeah.
You're an unbeliever.
I think Apple has picked a horse when it comes to AI and made their investment. So
You mean Disney has picked a horse?
I'm sorry, Disney's picked a horse. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Disney picked a horse, in the AI race, and it's not Apple.
So here's the thing about Apple. Let's just talk about Apple and then we'll close the show up.
Okay.
What is Apple doing? What Apple is
dabbling. I think Apple's honestly, I think two things are happening. One is that nobody wants to make a big decision before Tim retires. So they're trying to figure out succession planning for sure. There's no doubt about that. And I think nobody wants to take a big swing when they're going to make that change relatively quickly. And I think the other thing that's happening is that Apple is not convinced, I think, that AI is, I think they are seeing some of in my first prediction, the sort of AI strategy thing. I think they're letting first movers do the first mover thing like they've done so many times before. And I don't believe they see the rush in terms of getting something really wrong. I think and we can argue whether that's a smart strategy or not, but I think that's what's going on, is that one, succession planning is happening and Tim's going to retire and they got to figure out they don't want to take any big swings while that's going to happen. And two, I think they're also plotting what that big swing is. I happen to think it'll be healthcare in some way. And not like a car or something like that. And that AI is not their next big swing. It's AI will become just sort of a thing that they implement at some point and make it better. And so I think the big swing for Apple next has to be something in the world of healthcare.
I think that's a really good prediction. I think that we've talked about this before. I think Apple is serving as what Walmart did when e-commerce took off.
I think that's true. I think that's exactly
right.
Walmart
waited and they let all the players do their thing,
figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, and they perfected it, and now Walmart's e-commerce platform is awesome, is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the other thing is that the play for Apple, obviously they have the device, and they have the access to the consumer, and we're getting close to a time. It's not now, but maybe in the next couple of years, where you'll be able to keep your entire AI on that phone. The store, and you won't have to call out for it. It's going to be there on your device. We're not there yet, but we will be. And when that happens, it's going to open up a lot of different possibilities for a secure device from Apple.
And I don't think they know, and this may be something that they screwed up, because they let all those people go in the AI department, and there was, lots of reporting around how they didn't, how they've fallen behind, but not purposely. So who knows what's actually true there, but I think you're right in the sense that at some point an AI engine will get integrated into that device, whether it's theirs or not. I think that's the part that they're not sure about. Like, it's like search, right? They decided that there didn't need to be an Apple search. Google won. It was just as easy to put, do a licensing deal with them to get that functionality in the device. And then basically they do a licensing deal and they make money on it, and they don't have to upkeep the technology. And the true may be here with AI as well. They may pick a horse that can integrate into the phone that's not theirs, that they can create a licensing deal for.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of experts out there saying that the frontier LLMs are going to commoditize themselves, and it really is not going to be a big
exactly. So which one do you pick, right? And so it's like you wait until, and it honestly might be Google. It might be Google. I mean, they might make a similar deal with Google that they did with search.
It wouldn't be difficult. They already have the $28 billion deal or whatever
exactly.
it is. It's just, hey, let's just add on to that. I mean, everything is going to be a license. I mean, obviously the thing with OpenAI and Disney with the licensing deal, there's going to be all these licenses. I mean, you're just going to see money and the circular deals. There's going to be a lot more of that next year as this thing plays out. But I think you're right about what's going on. I think Apple's probably making the right move.
I do too.
For them, right?
I would never count Apple out
by waiting, because they don't have to rush. They're printing money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're printing money with what's going on, because people are not going to leave that ecosystem.
That's right. That's exactly
right.
And by the way, very quickly, Microsoft is continuing to screw up, right? If you go look at Reddit and look at Windows 11, like what's going on with Windows 11, what's going on with Copilot, the fact no usage of Copilot, and how they're having to repivot and change and all that kind of stuff. Microsoft is fumbling right now badly on operating system, and there's a lot of migration to Apple right now. So it's going to get interesting in the next year between Microsoft and Apple on the OS side.
I agree. Well, as our last show of 2025, I wanted to say thank you to our wonderful listeners, and to you, of course. It's been we've had a super fun year.
It's really been a fun year. I mean, despite everything else going on in the world, this and our own sort of worlds have been pretty damn great this year.
It's a good thing that This Old Marketing is here.
Yeah.
So that people don't take themselves too seriously.
Exactly.
Whoever is watching at this point of the program, you are true believers, and we love you.
Yeah. As my old boss, I've told this story many times to many people. My old boss, one of my very first bosses in marketing, who was an Australian guy, who was a Australian guy who basically, he was an ex, whatever the Australian version of Navy SEALs are, where, you basically, come up behind people and knife them and all that kind of so serious stuff. And he was my boss, my first boss in marketing. And he would always come up to us whenever we made a mistake, whenever we were having a bad day, whenever things were not going our way. And he would always come up to me and go, just remember, it's just fucking marketing. And that's it. That's this show in a nutshell.
I wish that could be the title.
Yeah.
I'll figure out something else, but awesome. I'll until next year, Robert, I'll let you close it out.
Very good. Thank you all. Thank you all for a great year. I hope you're having fun. Hope you're having some time away with your family. We will see you again next week with a regular show and in 2026. And so I hope you all have a happy, 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 happy new year. And we'll see you next week. Remember, it is your story. Tell it well. We'll see you next year on This Old Marketing. Hey, thanks a lot for making it this far in this week's episode, and thank you all for being a part of This Old Marketing. You can check out all the show notes of what we talked about today at thisoldmarketing.com, and it's also where you can leave us a review or a voicemail. We need those reviews and comments on whichever platform you follow us on. And if you haven't followed the podcast, please go do that and make sure you catch the latest and greatest episodes every Friday morning. We're on Apple and Spotify and all your other favorite podcatchers, of course, but we'd love it if you went over and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. youtube.com/@thisoldmarketing. We'll see you again next week, folks, with another episode of This Old Marketing.